Hey, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Avax. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. If you haven't seen the previous update, make sure to watch that before watching this one. The video is going to be linked in the top right hand corner of the video. Also, if you want to support the Ukrainian refugees, there are two links down below in the description. If you want to do that, of course, feel free to do so. Those links will take you to official websites where you can donate directly to the funds. Now let's get straight into the TA. So in the last video, we did take a look at a couple of resistance levels, and as you can see, we ran perfectly into this resistance level at $29.50. And I did say that if we don't break through this, I would expect a nice pullback to the 0.5 and to the 0.382. And lo and behold, we did do exactly that. And as you can see, we did even backtest the 0.5 as resistance, and now we're hovering about around the 0.382. Now with a further Bitcoin pullback, I would expect a move all the way back to the 0.236 at $14.50, which is where we started retracing from. So you printed this bottom, you started retracing to the upside, and now you're coming back down to where you came from. That is something that happens quite a lot, especially during these bear market phases, because this retracement was basically a relief rally after you had a long and exhausting downtrend here, right? So you should have had something, you should have printed a lower high, which is exactly what you did, and now you're coming back down. Now, if I zoom out and I show you the importance of this lower high, so you can see that I have a Fibonacci retracement. So this is our swing high and this is our swing low. I have been using this retracement for over a year right now, and as you can see, it's still holding up very nicely. And the golden ratio was over here at $29.50. And once you start retracing down from the highs that you printed during the peaks of the bull market, you come back down, you print a low. And once you start coming back up, the golden ratio, i.e. the 0.618, is the most important resistance level to break. And if you fail to do that, there is a lot of incentive that you're going to be coming back down to the levels where you came from, if not even lower. So this is exactly what happened. You got rejected from the golden ratio and you're coming back down. This was a great swing trade opportunity. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor, but once you see a coin get overextended, or any asset really, get overextended from the 20 EMA on the daily chart, which is the yellow line, that is a signal that you are potentially going to see a retracement very, very soon. And that is what happened. And add to that the fact that we have a gap in between the 20 EMA and the 55 EMA. That is also a sign that you should be looking at. If there's a huge gap in between the exponential moving averages, that is a telltale sign that you are going to see a pullback relatively soon, or sooner or later, I should say. And we retested the 0.5 as resistance and we dropped back down. So the immediate support below, I would say for now, is this level over here. I'm going to drop in the price tag so you can see the exact price. So $16.74. As you can see, this is the level that we bounced from here in July, once we started the little retracement at the beginning of the July, and then you had a retracement towards the middle of July, and from there we started this beautiful uptrend that took us all the way up to the golden ratio. So $16.74. Below that, you have another support level, which is slightly lower than that. That's at $16.05. And this is the level where I would expect us to bottom out if Bitcoin drops to $18,000, $19,500. But if we see a pullback to $14,000, $15,000, I would expect Avax to drop down pretty significantly with, the rest of the altcoins. So there is also a chance that we would retest the lows that we printed last year during May/July. That is still on the table. You can never be sure of the bottom until the bottom is in and you start retracing into the bull market. So up until that point, we have to expect or we have to be ready for all outcomes. So we should be ready for a pump tomorrow, and we should be ready for a dump in the same way. So like I said, if you want to set up some buy limit orders in advance, no one's stopping you. You can do that. That's a very smart thing. But never have round numbers in your limit orders, because that would mean that you have less chances of getting the orders executed, because a lot of people would pile in on that one level. So what you should do instead is you should add the limit order slightly above the support, so that when you come back down, you have more chances of getting filled, and the price will actually reverse before everyone gets filled on the round number, right? So if everyone's at $14 exactly, you can set your order to 14.6, right? $14.06, and that will mean that you have more chances of getting filled. That's just a little tip for you. And moving into the daily RSI here, as you can see, currently we broke below the buy zone that I gave you, anywhere from 38.9 to 35 on the index. We even dropped into the oversold, which was a great entry point for Avax. And let me just bring or extend this blue trend line. That was a major resistance trend line for quite some time. We could back test this in the future, because this was the resistance that we've been hitting our head on since August of last year, once in November as well, once in February this year, had a move towards the upside above it in March, and then another back test of resistance in June. So a back test of support of this level would be something very, very good, which would mean that this level is now officially a support level. The red trend line is still a valid resistance level. As you can see, we have multiple bounces from that. We did move above it, but we haven't had the back test of resistance. So with any relief rally or with any temporary bullish news in the market, we could run into this level here towards November, probably, if we have a relief rally just like we did last year. And then we could have another dump towards the end of the year. But that's just speculation at this point. Really no one knows what's going to happen. You just have to be ready with limit orders. Now let's jump into the Binance website. So jumping into the daily, I did give you a couple of buy orders here, or support zones. So one was at $23 and the other one was at $20.70. And we have dropped below both of those, and we have even retested this one, the lower one, as resistance, and we're coming back down with this Fib retracement. This is a slightly different Fib that I have on the charts right now. So here, this is the swing high and this is the swing low here. We had the extension levels to the upside. $43 was your technical target. We did not manage to get to that number, which is fine, but I would expect, with a deep pullback anywhere from $14 to $12, that would be your, golden opportunity to get into Avax. But with all the FUD that's surrounding the project right now, I'm not buying into Avax. They've been missing a lot of their deadlines, and their FUD right now, I don't really like that. I'm not going to get into that. You probably know all about it, even more than I do if you're involved with a project, but you can just look up that information for yourself. But we're talking about TA here. So that's regarding the support levels. Now let's say this was our bottom here on June, and let's give you people some nice targets to the upside for the next bull market. So what I would do is I would take the swing low and I would take the swing high from November of last year. There we go, precisely. And let's see what targets we have to the upside. So the 1.618 obviously here is sitting at $638. Now this doesn't mean that we're going to get to that number immediately, or we are going to get to that number at all, but that's a 3,000% profit from where we are. Let's be a little bit more conservative, and let's say that we could get to $398 here, or $393, which is the 1.414. I think this would be more plausible, unless Avax, really drops in and, because of the FUD. But we don't know what's going to happen with that. If you're bullish on the project long term, then feel free to buy into it. I'm not trying to scare you away from buying, Avalanche. It's a great project, but things aren't looking very good right now, but that could always change in a matter of days. So just do your own research. If you're, really bullish on the project, there's no point in waiting for further dips. I think these are great prices, because if you take a look at the price action here and you remove the log scale, right, and you just look at the prices here. So this is expensive to buy, but this my friends. This is good prices to enter. You know, this is expensive, but these prices are good to enter. So just, you know, keep in mind, you can just switch off the log scale, which I always have on, and just, you know, zoom out and see the bigger picture. So let's just jump into the weekly chart real quick to see what's going on over there. And okay, as you can see, the weekly RSI is currently very near the oversold, sitting on the index of 35. Great entry based on the weekly RSI, in my opinion. You could wait for the stochastic RSI to bottom out as well, below the index of 20, because that's considered oversold for the stochastic. As you can see, we do have a bullish cross on the MACD. This is a lagging indicator. We had the same thing in August of last year into September. Then we had a little pullback towards the red signal line by the moving average. So here the same thing could happen. We could see an extension of the moving average away from the signal line. We could see one last dump in September. From there, we could have a nice little squeeze to the upside, and eventually in December we could see a nice drop and with a bearish cross moving forward. But you know, no one knows what's going to happen. We're probably not going to repeat this situation, you know, 1-to-1, but we could see something similar. I don't think we're gonna see that strong of a pump like we did last year, but I'm expecting a pump regardless. So that's regarding the situation on Avax. If I missed anything important on the charts, please let me know down below in the comments section. We're a bit overextended from the 20 EMA. We could see a nice little rejection from the 20 EMA, currently sitting at $21.40. A nice little relief rally towards the 20 EMA and printing another low or a move to the downside from there. But that's been pretty much it. Thank you all for watching. Feel free to follow me on Twitter. Feel free to join me on Patreon. I'm going to catch you in the next one. Goodbye and good night.